Hello everybody, welcome back to Photoshop Magic, and right now we are going to continue off of part 3 of the hologram effect for the Halloween special. So I decided to do Halloween a little bit earlier this year, knowing that, because of the pandemic that's been going on, people aren't going to be going trick-or-treating, which is good, and I do not support that. I would rather people just, the kids stay home instead of just getting candy and watch YouTube videos of, how to do Photoshop or something like that, or they find something inspiring. Okay, so that looks amazing. So yeah, so as you can see right here, we have Tom Hanks. I was able to put him with the background of Halloween special right here of just with a scarecrow of, him looking like a hologram effect, okay, from this light source. All right, so yeah, we're just gonna get started for number 3 right here. Okay, so if you're new to my channel, welcome. This is Photoshop Magic, and this channel focuses on the magical and creative power of Photoshop, designed for anybody who has no prior knowledge to get him or her excited about Photoshop at the basic intermediate level. Okay, so I have a lot of videos, so if you can go ahead and check out the playlist of all the different effects that I've done. You're more than welcome to see more videos, and feel free to subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos moving forward. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for the support, and once you watch towards the end, and if you find any value at all in my video, at the very least click on the like button. It really does help the YouTube algorithm to suggest this to a lot more people. Okay, if not, it's going to get lost somewhere in the internet. Okay, all right, so let's get going. Okay, so we left off right here of creating that last effect. So now what we are going to do after that last effect, we are going to turn on all the eyes together. Okay, so we're going to turn this one on, we're going to turn that one on, and they're all on now, and it looks pretty amazing so far. So now that what we need to do is we need to create a new layer. Okay, we need to create a new scan layer. To be able to do that, we need to make sure that we have the glow layer right here, which is the top one. And we are going to click on the plus sign right here to add a new layer to it. We're going to make it a 50% gray. Okay, to be able to do that, if you are using the latest Photoshop, like myself, the latest Photoshop 2020, you're going to have to hold the shift button and F5. So not to be confused with a regular F and 5, there is an actual F5 button at the very top of your keyboard, okay? I'm using a Logitech keyboard right here, so we're going to hold the control button and you're going to tap F5, and it's going to show up right here. So for mine, I have to make sure this Photoshop is highlighted. So F5. Oh, I meant Shift F5. I'm sorry. So hold the Shift F5. Okay, I'm losing my mind right here. Okay, I'm going to try it one more time. So from here, Shift F5. So you have to make sure that the layer 1 is selected first, okay? So apologize for that. So layer 1, I was wondering why it didn't work. So make sure layer 1 is selected, and then you Shift F5, and there you have it, okay? So you have a fill content right here, and you want to click on it to make sure it's 50% gray, and then you click on OK, and there you go. So you have a 50% gray right there. So what we want to do is we want to filter it. We want to go to filter, and we want to go to filter gallery. And we want to go to under sketch. We have a halftone pattern right here of all these lines, and you want the contrast to be around like 40 or so. Depending on your image. So my image, and then make sure that the pattern type is line. There's many different options: dots, circle. So line is the one that looks like a hologram effect. Okay. So and after that, you click OK. And then what you want to do, you want to go to the channel section right here, and you want to click on this small circle right here with the dash around it. We want to click on it, and it's gonna select all of this section right here. And now we want to go back to the layer option, and you can actually just drag it to the trash can now because we don't need it anymore. And you want to come back down to the blur edges one. And what we are going to do next after the blur edges is select it. Oh, I mean the motion blur, the last one right here, the very last one. And we want to click on this rectangle section right here, the mask. Okay, so what that does is it's gonna bring in that lines effect to the motion blur. Okay, and to apply this motion blur to all the three layers that we have here, what we are going to do, make sure this masking section right here is the layer mask is selected, and you want to hold the Alt button down while doing that. Okay, so we're gonna have to make sure to hold the Alt button down. We're gonna left click, hold, and drag to the next one, and it's gonna apply that. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Hold the Alt button down and drag it to up here and release it. So now they're all selected. As you can see, it looks a lot cooler now. And now to get the desired effect that we want, we need to invert the motion blur layer mask. So we're going to go back to the motion blur layer mask. Make sure that the whole thing is selected. And make sure you only click on the layer mask, okay? So click on the layer mask right there. And you want to invert it. Okay, to invert it, you're going to have to hold the Control I. So as you can see, it kind of like reverse it a little bit, and it looks a little more realistic in terms of the hologram effect. So now that we have everything all together, we have to group everything. Okay, so we start with the motion blur right here. Now that it's highlighted, and to select everything between the motion blur and the very top layer, we have to make sure that the motion blur is selected first. Go to the very top layer, don't do anything yet. You hold the shift button and then you select the very top layer, and what that does is it selects everything in between. Okay, it selects the blur edges tool and also the last one that we clicked on. And there's the shortcut to group everything together, Control G, and it's grouping everything together. So now before going forward, we have to make sure that the group 1 folder is still selected. Okay, and we want to click on this half moon shape right here, and we want to click on photo filter, because we just want to affect just this group only. So what we are going to do, we're going to click on this section right here, this down arrow, and what that does is it only applies the photo filter to just the group. And what we're going to do next, we're going to click on this drop down, and then we can choose any color we want. To make it this more realistic, we're going to click on the blue, and we want to increase the density a little bit to even higher. As you can see right there, yeah, it looks very much like a hologram. Okay, so especially like at night. And there you have it. And we're gonna make sure we save our work. So we're gonna click on File. We're gonna click on Save As, and save to computer. Part 3 completed. Okay, so we're gonna click Save right there. We're gonna give it like 5 seconds or so to save itself, like right here, down here, or else it's gonna give us an error. Okay, so we're gonna go to File again. We're gonna click on Save As. We're gonna give it the same name, but this time we are going to change the format to JPEG, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. It looks pretty amazing. So we are going to change this one right here to thumbnail, and then we're gonna click on OK. So yeah, so it got saved in the thumbnail, so we are going to look in the thumbnail. Okay, so if we go to the picture right here, Tom Hanks, click on thumbnail, and this one right here, and this looks pretty amazing. Alright, so we zoom in a little bit. As you can see, yeah, that looks super awesome. So it kind of glitches a little bit too. So yeah, alright. So I hope you guys learn a lot. And if you haven't clicked on the like button already and share this content, go ahead and do so. Pause the video before it goes on to the next one, and you miss your chance. It really, like I said, really does help the channel a lot for the YouTube algorithm. Really, helps keeps the motivation going, and for me to be able to create a more creative content. And hopefully in the future I will have even more amazing projects, and it gets more and more complex as we go on. And also in the future, I'm planning on changing the title of this channel, so I just want to give you guys a heads up of that, to not make it where it's just Photoshop. It will be anything that's creative software of like videos and stuff, of After Effects and many different things. Okay, so as always, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.